Welcome to Mr. C's JavaScript class. Yay! Oh, just kidding. That was the Muppet Show. Okay, Zach's still in FBI custody, so we're recording this for him. Everyone say hi to Zach, and hopefully you get out soon. Um, this is our second to the last class. So, like I said, our last class, I'm just going to give you some code. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Maybe I'll record it for you, Zach. I probably will. And we'll pass it on. So go ahead and open up our, oh, we're not in Calc, we're in Lightout. Open up your Lightout program. Let me actually run it and see what we got here. Here, let's just go to here, minimize, or not minimize. I want it all to fit inside my thing there. Okay. Control O. Oh, this is Scratch I want. JavaScript, or I think JavaScript's in my desktop. There it is. So I'm going to go run my lightout.html. So last time we got it to where it would tell us how many lights were on as we went along. And I set a new world record by getting to 1. So although someone mentioned cheating to get there, I can only get to 3. Okay, that's right. Okay, so it took that. When we click reset, everything resets. Our lights on go to 0. Everything's fine there. So if we go to our code, to our JavaScript for our layout, last time we created a function called set roll column on off. The reason we did this, and we were working on set function winner, that's right, that's what we were doing. What happens when you win? We want to do something when you win. So what we did before is we created a new global variable called LON for lights on, and it tracked how many lights were on and it showed there. So what we want to do is every time we check for our lights on, every time we set them, so we want to check and see if we've got a winner. So that's our beginning setup. Here's our, okay, when we click a light, we do all this stuff. We turn on right, left, above, below, and then we change number of lights to the number. That's when we should check to see if we have a winner. So underneath document get element by ID num inner HTML equals lon, which is in our click light function. Can everyone find that? Okay. Under that, we're going to add a line, and we're going to check and see if lon is equal to 25. So I think you guys know how to do that, right? If lon equal to 25, we're going to do that. Now, there's 2 errors I made here. Actually, only one, but the other one's kind of an error. What's the error I made here? Anyone? Bueller? Double equals. If we do single equals, it's going to set lon equal to 25. Now, the other error here I did is something to avoid errors in the future. What if some goofy thing happens and it sets lon to 26? So the last plus to lon actually does it twice. So in reality, we probably want to set this is greater than, right here, let's do greater than or equal to. I don't know if we use that much. The greater sign followed by the equal sign. If lon is greater than or equal to 25. Oh, you're in the wrong place? Yeah. Oh, is there? Oh, I didn't even notice that. So, Oh, is there one? Function reset. Yeah, sorry. I'm up on line, what was it, 50 something or no, line 50, yeah. So sorry if I put you going in the wrong direction. Control Z is your friend, so. Okay. So if we win, we're just going to call a function called winner. And I did not name it winner ticket chicken dinner, which I wanted to name it the first time, but okay. So we're going to call a function called winner because there might be other times when we call this. We might have different levels. If you get less than 3 lights on, you're a winner. And there's kind of fun things we can do here. So we called our function winner, which we defined down here already. Function winner. Okay, what are we going to do if we win? Oh yeah, we were thinking about creating a W with the lights. That's right. So let's figure out how to do that. So we want to create a W with the lights. So this is why we created our function set light row column. So if we, let's see, what's an easy way to do this? Let's do this. Let's go, no, I'm going to go to docs. I'm going to go to sheets. I'm going to open a blank spreadsheet because spreadsheets are made out of rows and columns. If I highlight all this and I grab in the middle, I can make the whole thing to be about even. That's close enough. So we got our rows and our columns. We got a 5 by A, B, C, D, E, 5. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to change the background color on this to, let's make it like gray, or gray, so that we can see our 5 by 5. Then I'm going to zoom in. Control plus, nope. Oh, there we go. Plus, 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 plus. Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay. Boom. It's so big. It's too big. Control minus. Okay, minus. There we go. So now we got a 5 by 5. So let's figure out where our winner wants to be. So I'm going to just put X's. I know we want one. Oops. In the top here, we want one in the far one here. We want to come down. Let's put one here, one here, one here, one here. Maybe we just want to do it like this. And maybe an extra one there. That look kind of like a W? That works. Okay, so we want row 1, column 1 is the first one we want to set an X in. So let's go back to our code. And under winner, we're going to call our function. Our first thing we want to do if we get a winner. Oh no, let's turn them off. If it's all green, let's turn off the W. So let's, I don't know how we're going to test this. This will be kind of interesting. Let's error. Maybe there's other times we could be a winner. So let's instead make everything off or on, basically. So we're going to go set light. Now our light takes a row, 1. Whoops. So if we look at our parameters down here, set light takes row, column, and off or on. Oh, we didn't finish this. Okay. Well, here, let's do this real quick. Row 1, column 1, and let's just say that one's got to be on. And a semicolon. Sorry, I didn't realize we didn't finish our function. So this is what we're going to be sending it. So here, we went to set light row. It grabs this parameters, our row 1, our 1 equals row, our 1 equals column, and our on equals on or off. Okay, so we set our row R to row minus minus because we're going to pass row 1, but in an array we really mean row 0. It starts as 0. And then we're going to do col 1, col 2, col 3 all the way through. So we're getting our ID here for our case 1. I didn't assign you guys homework for this, did I? No. Did you? Okay, I assigned homework for you. Okay, this is real easy to do. If you haven't done this, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to do case 2, col 2, case 3, col 3, case 4, col 4, case 5, col 5. So we're going to take it. Oops, I accidentally wiped out my L. There we go. Col 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So we got all those set. So now we know what our ID is going to be, because our ID is going to be whatever's in that object for that column, right? So we already got our IDs. So we know what our ID is going to be. And then we're going to, or let's see if we got one already. I want to make sure I'm not duplicating. Reset function. That was our lights on and off. We're going to we're not going to worry about lawn. In fact, when we do winter, we're going to leave that at 25. It should already say 25. So we're going to now change that light to either on or off depending on what we have. So once we're done with all our cases, switch case, there's usually a default. Colon. And that just does something. Let's say alert. Let's make an alert that makes sense. Let's say set light with parentheses broken. So that means if we get something other than 1 through 5, we're going to say set light broken. It's going to do an alert. So that way, if an error occurs and you're playing this game and you see that, say, oh, there must be an error inside that function, and we can go look for it. Hopefully this is simple enough and we've used it enough that you will never see that alert. But that's a way that they make error messages if something's going on. So okay, so now we got our lid ID. So now we need to know, based on our parameter on off, whether it's on or off. So we're going to say if on or off is equal to on, then we're going to turn the light on. Else, if it's equal to something else, and we're going to assume that other else is off, we're going to turn the light off. So does that make sense? If on or off is on, then we're going to turn the light on, else turn the light off. I want to make sure everyone's caught up before I go grab the code that we need to steal from another place and put in here. Okay, so I'm going to go up and turning the light off is setting it to black, so I'm going to grab one of these lines right up here. Document get element by ID, style background color equals 000, pound 0000. You can find those. They're all over the place, it looks like. Grab one of those. And then we're going to go down. We're going to put it in off. So we're going to put it down here. Now it isn't workable yet because it's looking for cell ID, which we don't have. But we have now set lid, line ID or whatever, to what we want. So I'm going to put in here lid instead of cell ID. So it's going to go get an element with the ID that we put in there and set its background color to 0. So that'll turn it off. To turn it on, we can just turn the light on, so we can go find our color turn light on up here. Let's see, where is it on? There it is. I set mine to green. You might have set yours to something else. I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to paste it in here. Same thing, I want to make sure mine is just ID. I want LID is the ID I'm looking for in my get element by ID. And that will just turn the lights on or off. Okay, everyone got that? Didn't leave anyone behind. It's not testable yet because we're not really calling it. Or it is testable, but what we got to do is we got to set our ID equal to, or our ln equal to 25. So here's a way we can do this. You don't have to do this. I'm going to test this. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go to my, oops, not to that. I'm going to go to my lights out, and I'm going to open up my console. Right click, inspect. Now I'm going to see if I can drag my console over here actually. Dr. Wright, there we go, boom, there it is. Okay, I'm going to go to my, it's harder to see now, let's open it up a little bit. Let's grab our, no, that's computed, where's my console? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm going to go to my console. Now I'm going to do something kind of interesting here. I'm going to say ln equals 25. Enter. It's now equal to 25. Now if I click on a light, oh, didn't work. I can adjust my, here, let's do it the easier way then. Reset. Ln equals 25. It's 25. Now I'm going to call my winner function. Winner. Oop, oop, undefined. Okay, that's not working. I thought I could do this. Let's do this. Let's say ln return. So that tells me it's 25. What am I missing here? Yeah, I should be able to just call winner. Maybe the semicolon got in the way. Let's try it this way. I haven't done this in forever, so I'm just going to say winner. It says function winner. What happens if I click on that? Or this? No, that just jumps to it. Okay. Well, sorry, it's not working. Okay, so instead what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go into my code, and I'm going to cheat. I'm going to say ln equals 25 up here. Or here, yeah. So save it. You don't have to do this again. This is a way to test it. Now I'm going to go refresh, click on one, boom. There's our winner. Oh, it turned on the wrong one. It turned on row 2 for me instead of row 1.
I didn't get anything turned on, but I have like lights on equals 40.
Equals 40? That should have worked. Here, if I do that, let's go back here. See, now mine says lights on equals 30 because it added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to my 25, so it should have been 31, but, or no, 30 because it doesn't count that one. So, okay, so let's go back here. So if I go here instead and I say 1234, now if I go back here, shift, refresh, and let's just click down here. Yep, so mine's working, but yours, there might be something. Let's go figure out my error first, and we'll keep that in mind. So, okay, so I'm going to go back and, or I'm going to leave that for right now. I'm going to go down here and see where I'm sending my row. So when I call winner, I set function set light 1, 1 on. So 1 is my row. So row, I know my error. This is bad syntax. What I did is row r equals row. I set r equal to row, and I set row itself minus minus to 0. So in fact, minus minus cannot work here. Minus minus isn't set equal to something. It affects the one that's applied to. So I actually have to say minus 1. So on your function set light, r equals row minus minus, actually has to be r equals row minus 1. Now if I save that and try it again, shift refresh, I still have it set, boom, there, now my light's in the right place. Okay, so is everyone doing this or is no one doing it? I said you didn't have to. How many people are doing that? Okay. Yeah. 182. It's just inside of set light. So the function set light, the first line was row equals row minus minus. Needs to be row minus 1. I'm going to pause this for a second, give Zach a break. He looks pretty tired. And we're back. Okay, so we got that working. So we got set light 1, 1 on. So let's go back to our grid. Oops, that's not our grid. Our grid is here. Okay. 1, 2 we want off, 1, 3 we want off, 1, 4 we want off, 1, 5 we want on. So let's go. Let's just copy that. Oops, I put a 4 there. That would have really confused things. Control C. I'm going to go 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go row 2, row 3, column 2, 3, 4, and 5. I want to change my columns. And I want 2, 3, and 4 to be off. So that will set the entire column. First one on, all the others off. Because we don't know if we're going to use this elsewhere. Otherwise, we could just say, oh, it's all on. We could just turn off the ones we don't want. Because you've gotten over 25, but then we might have other instances where you can be a winner. So our first row then is going to be first one on, next 3 off, 5th one on. Next row is going to be identical. So if we go back to our code and we copy this and we paste it, and now we just change it row to 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Now we got 2 identical rows.
I think the numbers need to be switched. We're calling like the second column.
What we're doing it by rows, not by columns. So this is the first row. So this is all row 1. The first column in row 1 is on. The second column is off. Third column is off. Fourth column is off. Fifth column is on. I might have been switching my words around a little bit, but so then our second row, the first column's on, second column's off, third column's off, fourth column's off, fifth column's on. So I think I'm right. Later on, you can prove me wrong, but okay, I still have that saved. So I'm going to paste one more time. And this time I'm going to make them all row 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And this time I'm going to take my third one and I'm going to turn that one on. So we've started the center of our W. On, off, on, off, on. That makes sense? I don't want to lose anyone. Is everyone keeping up? Was that a no or yes? Or okay. So now let's look. We've got our first, second, and third. Our fourth column is identical to the third column. So our fourth row. See, that's where I'm throwing you off. Our fourth row is identical to the third row. So I'm going to copy my third row. I'm going to paste it for my fourth row. And I'm going to change all the 3s to 4 here. Or all the row 3s to row 4. So now we've got that. Okay. Finally, our last one, if we look at this, is just the opposite. On, off, on, off, on. So this one's worked no matter how you look at it. So I'm just going to paste in my third row again. Change it all to 5. So row 5, row 5, row 5, row 5, row 5. And now I just need to, I'm just going to do this easy. I'm going to copy my off. I'm going to paste off, off, whoops. Control Z is your friend. Off, off. And then I'm going to copy an on. And I'm going to make on row 2 or column 2 and column 4. There we go. Now in order to test this, you have to win the game. So we'll spend the rest of the class time trying to win the game and test this. Okay, I want to make sure everyone's caught up. Anyone still working? Okay. Now we can all tease Isaiah because he's slower than the rest of you. So, no, I'm just kidding. I wonder if Zach can hear me drinking my water. I should listen to the video afterwards. Gloop, gloop, gloop. What's that? Okay, yeah. Isaiah's still working. How can we test this? We can go to the top. We can set our lawn to 25 or greater. Save it. Then go into it and click one button and a W should appear. One light and a W should appear. So go up to the very top, set your lawn equal to 25 or greater, and then click one, save it, click one light, and it should spell a W. Now I've got to go back and see if the girls have actually made a lewd gesture or something with the lights or something. Yours doesn't? Well, let's make sure mine does. So the error could be on my side. So let's see. I go up to the top. I'm going to set my lawn to 100. There we go. Control S. Come here. Shift refresh. Click. Set light broken. Hey, remember that error message which I said would never have a problem? It's got a problem. Did anyone else get alert set light broken? Oh, okay. Well, let me see where my code is off. So I've got my alert down here. See, it works. I'd like to say I did that on purpose, but so this alert happened. It should have never happened. This alert happened because when we were setting our columns, our column number wasn't 1, 2, 3, 14. Aha. That's my problem. I found my problem. Okay, let's save that and 5. So yeah, I did that on purpose so you guys would see what happens. Refresh. Click. W! I won! I cheated, but I won. Okay, so other people aren't working, right? What's the first thing you do? Check the console, see if you got a JavaScript error anywhere. Always look for the first JavaScript error. Sure. Let's see. There's the end of it. Is that all you need, or you need more? On or off. Okay, that means that you probably misspelt the capitalization. We had O-N, capital O, lowercase r, capital O, lowercase ff. So double check your capitalization there. Was that the error? Well, look and see. So if we go to our on or off, let's see, where do we define our on or off? Here it is right here. So it's right there. So confirm that the parameter on or off is spelled exactly the same as the if on or off. And there should only be 2 on or offs actually, one on the parameter and one on the if. Anyone else getting errors or working for you? Is it working for you, Silas, or you got an error? Now it works? Okay. Again, the what error here? I'm gonna in a second I'm gonna park Zach. Okay, so we got most of you working at this point. Now I did this winner thing to set it up so that if you wanted to, you can create your own levels. You can create a button, level, whatever. When they click that button, you call a function that resets everything. You want to call reset first, and then you want to set up the board however you want it, using what we just set up here, turn the lights on and off. And that way you can set up your own levels where lights are set up already. So this is a way that you can go beyond what we're doing in class already and make your game more exciting. Trying to think what else. Well, this is the last I think we're going to spend on this project. You've got it. You can play with it. I would keep it, especially if you plan on learning more JavaScript, because then you can come back and do things to it. You can play with it. You can. One of the hardest things when you're teaching yourself JavaScript is coming up with ideas of projects to do to use your JavaScript skills. So this is kind of good. If you want to pursue JavaScript, what's the very first thing you should learn? Anyone have an idea? HTML. Everything on the web is HTML. You can do JavaScript without HTML. It's called server-side JavaScript, but it's beyond the scope of this class. But if it's on a web page, it has to have HTML in it somewhere. So HTML is the world's easiest programming language. You can learn it easy, just with online tutorials. Next thing you should learn. Anyone know what the next thing you should learn that we've used a little bit in here? That changes the look and the feel of the page? Yep, cascading style sheets, CSS. Cascading style sheets should be the next thing that you learn. You don't have to be a master of that. You just have to know enough to be able to change things. So you can go overboard on cascading style sheets. There's lots of stuff you can do on cascading style sheets that we haven't covered in this class for sure, or even web development. There's a ton of it out there. Then you can start into JavaScript tutorials. Do your searching for JavaScript tutorials and work your way through there. Finally, if you got the tutorials under your belt, you can go a couple different ways. You can find JavaScript code, tear it apart, play with it, see what it's made out of. We're kind of do that next week. Or you can actually take an actual JavaScript course. Now you're like, oh my gosh, JavaScript course, that's going to cost me hundreds of dollars. Not necessarily. I know a site where they have some really good JavaScript courses for like $15. It's called, let's see, udemy.com. Udemy. I think it's supposed to be kind of a play on academy, but that's a Ucademy, Udemy. I'm not sure what it means, but, .compile, no, not compile.com. You can do that because there's things in JavaScript we haven't even come close to touching on. A lot of interactivity. You can access cookies with JavaScript to save things. You can access databases. You can create databases and work with it. In which case you would use a database like MySQL, which is an open source database that you can play around with and things like that. But you can teach yourself JavaScript just by online tutorials to the point where you could get a job doing it. If you can prove your skills to someone, that would be like, hey. But yeah, so those are the next steps if you want to pursue this further. I've coded web development forever, and I learned web development before there were JavaScript tutorials, or there were YouTube. I learned it from books, and I have a degree in biology, but I learned my coding, and I was able to get a job with it, so you can too. So it's up to you. But so this is as far as we're going to take this, but if you want, you can challenge yourself to create some levels. You could look into JavaScript. One of the hardest things to do with JavaScript that I've found is timing things. But you could, if you win, you could have it like run lights up and down or things like that, and play with the timing of your lights and things like that. But that's well beyond the scope of this course how to do it. But any questions? If not, I'm gonna let Zach go, and maybe we'll see him the last day. Probably not. I don't know if they're even close to letting him out yet. So we'll talk to you later.